Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our daily cafe chat. I'm Emily.
And I'm Lisa. Happy Tuesday, everyone. It is March 3rd, 2026.
And you know what today is? It is Hina Matsuri, the Japanese doll festival, also known as Girls' Day.
I love Hina Matsuri. Those adorable little dolls in their royal outfits, the chirashi sushi, the strawberry mochi. I could celebrate this holiday every single week.
You always find a way to make everything about food, don't you?
Because every holiday is about food, Emily. That is just a fact.
Okay, fair point. So today we have 3 fun stories. First, Scream 7 just hit theaters and the reviews are in. Ghostface is back! I have been waiting for this one. Second, Czechia is becoming a surprise hit destination for Indian travelers. Czechia? Like Prague? I have always wanted to go there. And third, Burger King just updated the Whopper for the first time in nearly 10 years. They changed the Whopper? Nobody messes with the Whopper. But first, if you're new here, welcome to our little cafe. Every day, we take real-world news and turn it into a relaxed 10-minute chat to help you practice natural, everyday English.
No textbooks, no stress. Just 2 friends talking over coffee. Perfect for listening and shadowing practice. Subscribe so you can join us every single day.
Now, today's keyword is revamp.
Revamp. Is that like a new type of vampire?
Not quite. Revamp means to give something a completely fresh new look or to update it in a major way.
Oh, so like when you reorganize your entire closet at midnight because you saw one TikTok about it?
Exactly like that. Let's see how revamp pops up in today's stories. Let's start with our first story. Scream 7 just hit theaters on February 27th, and the reviews are pouring in. Ghostface! Oh my gosh, I am such a huge horror fan. I have been counting down the days. Well, here's what makes this one special. Kevin Williamson is back as director.
Wait, the Kevin Williamson? The guy who literally created the entire Scream franchise back in 1996?
The very same. He wrote the original screenplay, defined an entire era of self-referential horror, and now he is behind the camera for the 7th time.
That is like getting the original chef back in the kitchen after 30 years. You just know it's going to taste different.
And that's not all. Neve Campbell is back as Sydney Prescott, and Courtney Cox returns as Gale Weathers.
Sydney and Gale back together? Okay, now I absolutely need to see this.
In this one, Sydney's eldest daughter, Tatum, played by Isabel May, starts digging into her mother's past. And naturally, a new killing spree begins.
They named her Tatum. That is such a sweet callback to the original movie. Poor Tatum in the first one.
Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown also return as the surviving twins from the previous films.
Those 2 are so great together. That chemistry is perfect for Scream.
And here's a detail that really got my attention. The original composer, Marco Beltrami, is back with his iconic score. The Guardian's reviewer said his music gave genuine goosebumps.
See, that's the thing about Scream. The music builds the entire atmosphere. You hear those first notes and your heart just starts pounding.
Now, here's the big question. This movie was marketed as the final Scream.
The final Scream? Oh, come on. They always say that.
And you're probably right. The review says that with tracking numbers suggesting a massive opening weekend, Scream 8 is practically an inevitability. I knew it! You simply cannot kill Ghostface. He always comes back. The overall verdict is that it's solid, but not groundbreaking. Entertaining, a little messy, but not the masterpiece some fans hoped for. Honestly, for a 7th movie in any franchise, solid and entertaining is actually really impressive. I completely agree. Sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. A fun night at the movies is more than enough.
Exactly. I'm grabbing my biggest bucket of popcorn this weekend.
Moving on to our second story. This one is about travel, and it surprised me. Czechia just recorded a 12.38% increase in Indian tourist arrivals in 2025.
Wait, Czechia? Like the Czech Republic? Prague, castles, all that?
Exactly. And what is really interesting is that Indian travelers are not just visiting Prague anymore, they're exploring other regions too.
Oh, really? Where else are they going?
South Moravia is becoming a big draw. It is known for its vineyard landscapes, historic towns, and cultural routes.
Vineyards in Czechia?
I had no idea. I always think of beer when I think of the Czech Republic. A lot of people do, but South Moravia has a thriving wine region, and it's very accessible from Prague, perfect for a 1 or 2 day side trip.
That sounds so charming. Like skip the tourist crowds and just wander through little wine villages?
Exactly. Czech tourism says the shift is being driven by repeat visitors and small curated groups who want slower, experience-led journeys.
Experience-led journeys. I love that phrase. Not just checking off landmarks, but actually living the culture.
Barbara Andalova from Czech Tourism put it perfectly. She said, the Indian traveler today is more informed, more experiential, and more willing to explore beyond the obvious.
That's such a great insight. People are done with just the highlight reel. They want the behind-the-scenes experience.
And there's another boost coming. The Czech consulate in Mumbai is reopening, which should make visa access much easier for Indian travelers.
Oh, that's huge. Visa logistics are always the biggest headache for international travel.
Czech tourism's whole strategy is shifting. They want Czechia to be seen as a multi-region destination, not just a Prague stopover.
I love that. Come for Prague, stay for the wine country. Honestly, that could be their new slogan.
A 12% growth in 1 year is impressive. And if the trend continues, Czechia could become one of the hottest European destinations for Indian travelers.
Add it to my list. Prague, South Moravia, vineyard hopping. I'm in.
Finally, our third topic today. Burger King just updated the Whopper for the first time in nearly 10 years.
Hold on. They changed the Whopper? That is like repainting the Mona Lisa. You just do not do that.
Well, customers were complaining. A lot of people said their Whoppers were arriving smushed and falling apart.
Oh, I totally know that feeling. You open the wrapper and it looks like someone sat on your burger.
So here's what they changed. They swapped the soft bun for a more premium one with a glaze that makes the sesame seeds stick better. They upgraded to a creamier mayonnaise with a touch of sweet and citrus. Creamier mayo with a hint of citrus? Okay, that actually sounds incredible. And the biggest change might be the packaging. They ditched the paper wrap and put the Whopper in a clamshell box instead.
A box? Like a proper box? So no more Whopper avalanche when you unwrap it?
Exactly. The box holds everything together and traps the heat so the cheese stays nice and melty.
Melty cheese is absolutely non-negotiable. That is the single most important part of any burger.
Now, one thing they kept the same is the beef patty itself. Tom Curtis, the president of Burger King US and Canada, said they were very careful not to change too much.
Smart move. You do not mess with the meat.
He actually had the best quote about it. He said, "It's like we're putting our famous, iconic burger in a tuxedo instead of a leisure suit."
A tuxedo? I love that. The Whopper is going to the ball.
And here's something really cool. Curtis actually gave out his personal phone number and has been taking direct calls from customers for 2 weeks straight.
Wait, the president of Burger King is personally answering phone calls from regular people? 4 to 6 hours a day, including Saturdays. He said he's taken around 12,000 calls so far. 12,000 calls? That is some serious dedication. What are people telling him? A lot of customers are now asking him to work on the French fries next. Yes, the fries need a revamp. See, I used the keyword. You did. And about the cost. Each franchise location pays about $4,000 extra per year for these upgrades. Burger King is telling owners not to raise prices for customers. Good. Everything is expensive enough already. But honestly, if the new Whopper is as good as it sounds, people will definitely keep coming back. A horror franchise revival, a travel trend surprise, and a burger makeover. What a lineup today! And they all connect to our keyword. Revamp means to give something a completely fresh and improved form. Scream revamped itself by bringing back the original creator to the director's chair. Czechia is revamping its entire tourism strategy to attract Indian travelers beyond Prague. And the Whopper got a new bun, creamier mayo, and a fancy box.
Great connections. All right, here is today's question for you. If you could revamp one thing about your daily routine, what would it be?
Easy. My morning routine needs a total revamp. I hit snooze way too many times. It is honestly embarrassing.
I would revamp my bookshelf. It is completely out of control, and I keep buying books I have no room for.
Let us know your answers in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We're here every single day, 365 days a year. See you tomorrow. Happy Hinamatsuri, everyone! Go treat yourself to some chirashi sushi today. Bye-bye, everyone! I'm heading straight to a Japanese restaurant after this. Girls' Day feast, here I come! Take care, everyone! See you tomorrow! Bye-bye!